Hey everybody, we are back.
Hello.
This week's Human Interact stream, or if you're watching
Friday
it on
the
YouTube.
13th.
Friday. Oh God, no! Why did we do this on the 13th?
It is. It's because it's awesome. But if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it with fucking style. So here we go.
Yeah. So we actually spent a little more time than a day setting up for this one. We are going to bring you classic Amiga games from the 80s. And what is the Amiga system, you are asking? It is the first preemptive multitasking operating system.
Right?
This one right here. Boom. Asking. We are actually doing something new here. Sophie is playing remotely over the internet right now. She is actually going to play Marble Madness for us. Like, I'm going to be like, look, Ma, no hands, while she goes and plays. Because of this cool internet technology called the internet. Like, let's go ahead and...
That's actually me playing. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
We live in 2 different states, guys. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. This is actually pretty awesome.
I'm such a nerd.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do some commentary on this one as we watch Sophie play Marble Madness. So what you're hearing right now is the floppy disk spinning. In the emulators, they put it in there because load times were atrocious on these games in the 80s off of floppy disk.
The loading was real.
And the funny thing about that is that it's actually part of the experience. If you don't have it there, you're just like sitting there like, what the hell is going on?
It's like, why is this taking so long? Right.
So this looks like some really good programmer art right here. This is a port of an arcade game from, I want to say, the 80s?
The early 80s, like I think 83 or 4.
I'm going to go and pull up that information while you get started.
Yeah. So it originally was a trackball game. So if you guys remember, the arcade console had this great big ball about looked like a giant marble, and you had to roll it with your hand in order to control the players. So I'm going to use a mouse instead, just because I don't have a trackball anymore. Because the last time I owned one was sometime back.
Because it's 2018.
Because it's 2018, and we just don't have these anymore. So
So here's another crazy thing about this. Marble Madness came out in 1984 in the arcades, and this port is from 1986.
Yes.
So not even 2 years later, they've got an almost near arcade perfect port of this game, which is like pretty insane if you consider what computers were like in the 80s. In the 80s, you had like 8-bit computers. This was a 16-bit computer that could do multitasking that shipped with an operating system in 1984. The Amiga 1000 shipped in 1984, and it was just it went for, I think, $2,000 back then, which would probably be worth $5,000. So imagine spending what you would spend on a car to have something that's like as good as an arcade machine.
Oh, that was sweet. Did you see that?
Nice, yeah.
I've never done that before. That's what she said.
Yeah, so this is playing on an emulator right now. This is a UAE, which is I don't know what it stands for, but they've got perfect emulation now for the Amiga, and they've had for some time.
Amiga emulator or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
So she's flying through this. By the way, this is like amazing right now. Like, I am not nearly this good at this game.
So, fun fact, this was the first game that I ever 100%ed.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was like 4. Yeah.
Dude, 4-year-olds now, they just watch people 100% video games.
Pretty much. But I mean, as you can see, there's not a whole lot to it. But it was one of those things.
It's so hard. No. There is a lot more to it. If I were to play this, I'd be like off the road.
But hang on a second. Though, you remember the very first game that you just like sat there, just grinded on until you beat. It might have been an NES. It might have been an SNES. Whatever it was. There was one game somewhere along the line that you were just like, I've got to beat this. So, and it's the 4 save states and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Like, you had to just play the whole thing, and then, man, I kept dying on the 3rd level, whatever. Like, you just got to keep doing it.
And you can't I want to start again at level 5 or something.
Yeah. She's like using some pretty pro strats here, like... Oh, you got the good RNG too!
About it.
You got the good RNG of that.
Yeah.
I hate it when they come up and they're all across each other.
It's like roadblock. So I don't know about good strats so much as it's just some of it's luck, some of it with the emulation it gets a little wonky.
Yeah, you're like when you're playing on a mouse right now, and you said like the mouse sometimes freaks out on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So, like honestly, it's kind of like muscle memory. Yeah, just like you just know where to go. And then there's a couple different patterns that some of the enemies have, and then there's sometimes you want to take them out. Sometimes it's just like, F you, I'm gonna run away now. Yeah. So, Venomir says he played the hell out of this one. Yeah. Well, it wasn't so much that it was tough. It was just that you could get caught in like certain loops in certain places. Only 80s kids with a marvelous story behind this game. That is true.
Yeah.
Only 80s kids get that loading sound.
So the Emmy, because it's going across the internet right now, and to keep the delay low, sometimes you'll see the stream break up.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate side effect to what we're doing. Yeah, it's not the emulator. So.
It is doing some weird stuff on my end too. Ooh.
All right, so there's two paths that she could take on this. She could take the smaller path, which takes longer time, or you can take the high-risk path where they've got the boopers that go up. I always take the high-risk path, but Sophie's pretty good at taking the narrow path, which is actually, in my opinion, harder to go through because you have to go slower. But she goes through pretty quickly.
So, I was wondering, I forgot to mention, like, I don't know if I can do this or not, but, so can I get through this and get a plus 100k score?
All right, we'll see.
Because I relatively consistently come in right around 100,000. So the question is am I going to come in above 100k or below 100k?
I don't know. I think it might be a little below because I saw it the first time you played this and you like knocked it out.
We have 2 more levels to go.
Okay, yeah.
So
the Manny says the internet's not properly evolved enough to handle the Amiga. Gotcha.
And you get a bonus just for winning. So as long as I stick with the plan, Leroy, I might be okay.
So this is the silly level where everything you know is wrong. First of all, the enemies don't knock you off. You're actually big enough to hit them. And you get a little bit of time every time you hit one of them on this. So there's a risk and reward scenario about, like, do you go after them or not? Obviously, Sophie knows the best because she just got up to 70 seconds on that, which is pretty good. When you go up hills, you actually accelerate, and when you go down hills, you decelerate, so they reverse the physics on this level. The fucking birds, oh my god. Oh, alright, yeah, so you can...
cheater strat.
Yeah, you can throw yourself
Normally
off
when you
the
die,
edge.
yeah, you end up going back to where you fell. In
But
this
not
case,
there.
you can, No! Get down the ramp, go! Doesn't want to let you down this ramp.
Yeah, there you go, you got it.
Okay, I lost... Oh man, what is it doing? So the mouse is still acting a little bit wonky. That's fun. Alright, we made it, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We have plenty of time.
43 seconds. All right, so now we're on the final level. This is actually a pretty quick level. Yeah, going up the ramp is easy. Going down the ramp and the silly level, not so easy.
Nope. That first little bit there, normally that's a lot harder. Instead, it's just like, shoop! In fact, if you're not careful, you'll actually bounce off the wall and fall down. Because you're accelerating too fast. So, last one.
Yeah, so final level.
Yeah, so this game
race.
actually wasn't that big.
Well, it was an arcade game, and
get up there.
When they did it, I don't think people were as good at games yet.
Come on, I should already be over there. Oh, what the fuck is this? Uh-oh, it's looking bad.
It's okay, you got this, Sophie.
Yeah.
So this game is actually 2-player, but we don't have a way to play remotely without some weirdness. When you go down the path, you get a random path, and so there's the left and the right path. Do you like this path better, or no?
This one I actually prefer, because, I don't know, I just do. For some reason, it seems like it goes smoother for me. I don't hit the green tubes as much. That was kind of weird, though, like flying off the end of the screen, though. That was probably a little unnecessary. All
right, so this is the most tense moment of the game. Generally, you've got just seconds here because you're not as good as Sophie. But she's got quite a bit of time. Yeah, you have to take your time, but the time is clicking on you, telling you not to take your time. And each one of these tiles has a different texture to it. So the gray one is bumpy. You have lots of friction. The sand one slows you down. The ice you have no acceleration on, and they're changing on you. And there you go. She just won. 22 seconds left. I think you're going to come in under 100,000 on this
Hamster
one,
Ball. Yes, this is a lot like Hamster Ball. In fact, Hamster Ball was inspired by this game.
All right, so there we go. Score. Just shy of 100,000. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, one more second of time and I would have got it.
Yeah. So this is some programmer art right here. But there you go. That is Marble Madness. There was a sequel to Marble Madness called Marble Man that went into the arcades that didn't actually get a release. There's somebody sitting on a prototype version of it and won't release the ROM online for people to play it. True story. You can actually go look that up right now.
Marble Man, huh?
So because we're breaking these videos into separate ones, we're gonna try something different on YouTube. We're gonna do a little soft out just to let people know. Don't go anywhere though, because we still got more Amiga Madness coming up. But we're Human Interact. We make VR games, but on Fridays we like to stream. Come take a look at us on Twitter at human_interact, or you can take a look at our YouTube page, which you're probably on already, youtube.com/humaninteract. There's more streams like this of new games, old games, and a couple event streams too.
Another Wu-Tang Clan scenario.
So go ahead, tell them who you are. Who just played this game?
I'm Sophie Wright. I am the master of Amiga games and COO at Human Interact.
All right. And so let's go on to our next game.